Alright. 4 minutes. 4 minutes happens. Let's get the gloves back on. We're working on some finer stuff. Open hours. We're going to continue today with where we left off yesterday. Now, let's take a look here. We're going to go back to, whoa, we'll go, actually, I got to blow the camera out for a sec, people. We are going to hit default. Something I didn't do ahead of time. Default. Let's hit OK. Looks good. Hit OK. Yeah, that stayed. Imagine that. Repair. We got the right. No green screen. KVM looks good. As long as this don't have the autofocus. Show me a window. And it does. Okay, exposure. Take the sharpness up a little bit, hit apply, okay. Now we can do the roll. What do we got there? We've got alright, better. We've got that, we've got the zoom, right, me. No green screen. KVM, we've got the repair screen, which we won't need, and then repair only, LCD. Alright, let's get back to this charger. Sorry, we have an iPhone apart here. We are getting a macro lens right now. We need to take some pictures of this. However, I can't lose the screws that we have. We need to keep them safe. Alright. Hey, you're live on the air. Did you get that lens? Yeah?
Hey, I also checked your car out. It's something in there, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. But if you push down on it, you can hear it.
Bottom out?
Yeah.
Okay. Strut? Spring? Who knows? Right?
I'll figure it out.
Alright. Here we can get our pictures of our iPhone dilemma. We have the camera here now. Let's go ahead and throw this sketchy charger back on this while this is happening. While this is charging, we're going to go ahead and get busy with this iPhone. So where is it? There it is. As long as we don't suffer a connection break, we should be okay. Good, and looks pretty good. Let's do the fast charge. We're going to put some power back into it. That's that connection break. So let's try and go there. There. Alright, we're good to charge. We're going to send it in around 1.6 amps on a 1-cell battery. This is a lithium polymer battery. We are fast charging. It's on the fast charge setting, so we'll put a little bit more power into it. It's up from 3.2, 3.4 volts, which was extremely dead, up to 4.06 so far. So we're not going to let it charge long while we jump on this phone. I need to get a picture somehow, some way.
Oops, sorry. Crap.
You breaking stuff?
No.
I knew you would.
Cut all the balls off and a bunch of peanuts flew out of it.
Peanuts are jumping out. Maybe macro does work by itself. I think it does. I think the wide needs the macro to work. Okay. I know the wide camera's cool, but the macro lens. So there, if you need to get close-up photos of something, these clip-on lens kits for iPhones and just smartphones in general 100% work. It's just all about getting the light to and getting in close enough with what you're trying to take a picture of. Okay, where is that? There's that screw. Huh. Well, let's go with the flashlight. Is this... Oh, what happened there? My camera crashed? So this is not normally something that we do, taking pictures of something this close on an iPhone, unless we need to show somebody something, and then that kind of warrants it in this situation. So we're going to go ahead and get in here and take a picture of this.
And that's so close to being blue.
What's that?
Screen underneath that picture.
Oh yeah, they get real close to being broke when you get close, yeah, I mean close on them like that. Go with the story. You know what, we're just going to go without the light. We need a picture of this. I don't think it can be done any other way. They'll be able to see something rather than nothing. Okay, there's the... You're picking up lunch?
Picking up pie.
Alright, there's that. That is where that clip is supposed to go. And then the screw goes with this part. Okay, so the story on the iPhone while we're taking macro pictures. Let's put our lenses back together so we don't lose it. This came in for, well, obviously, a screen replacement. Now, upon, or whenever they brought it in here, other than the screen replacement, they said that the back camera had stopped working, and it's no wonder. I don't know if it's shorted out or what's going on. We did get a new screen. However, we have to swap over. We've got to do the swap on 1, 2 is what we have, 3, so we need to do the swap on the camera, and all the electronics, the light sensors, everything need to be put over onto this display. And then we got to swap over the home button, which is always fun. However, upon opening this iPhone, there is a metal bracket that goes in here and gets mounted down like so, and that is that silver metal bracket. Let's go. The silver metal bracket here holds down the display cables, the camera cable. Let's see, the camera cable, all the cables for the display, the touchscreen, the LCD, the digitizer, and something else. I forget what else plugs in that location. Anyhow, the situation with this was the screws where that metal bracket was here and here were missing. It probably let the iPhone camera come unclipped and possibly part of the display. The bracket that clips on after you clip the home button in here, there's a little bracket that clips in that acts as, it holds it together, and I believe it acts as a ground maybe for, I don't know, maybe the headphone, maybe something else. I haven't touched an iPhone 5 for years, or a 5S. This bracket was missing, and these two screws were missing. Where they are was stuffed in beside the camera. So as long as we don't long screw that part, which the guy has the right screws in, we shouldn't have to get micrometers or calipers to check. And once we pull this bracket out, the camera's probably going to go back in the right way, hopefully. I don't even know how they got this stuff stuffed in there. Let's go ahead and pop this camera out. So there's our camera. Wow. Really? Is that broken like that? Well, that isn't our bracket. That is actually something else that's bent. Very badly. So I kind of have to wonder who was inside this iPhone. And can we give absolutely any warranty with it? Okay, so that one bracket is gone. It's not in here, Dave.
Really?
Yeah, it's completely missing. So I can source one from one of our dead iPhone 5S's. There's another part of the phone that looks extremely bent. I'm gonna have to hop online and look to see if it is bent or not, because it looks like it's really bent. But I can't remember what it looks like inside an iPhone 5S. It's been quite a while. As far as this other bracket, it does hold down the home button, and I believe it's a ground. So let's.
You might outdone herself up there today. Pretty good.
Kind of got to wonder. Well, this is my personal reason for not. I mean, we do them, but because they seem extremely easy to get into, and when you open a phone up and screws are missing, they're just stuffed in above the camera, and bracket completely missing, and then other stuff's bent. You gotta wonder who was inside it. And do you see that red and silver GST sticker? That does not belong inside an iPhone. That tells me somebody was in there. That's some type of warranty sticker, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, I'll get to that. Right now I have to find a bracket while we let that battery charge. If I can find a bracket, then we can move on with that repair. I just need to find the iPhone screws, which I'm not entirely sure where they are. Oh, what a mess, man. Whoever was in that phone absolutely butchered it. Huh?
Never ever do it again.
Dude, we need to ask them if they tried repairing it, or did he have somebody open it? Was it a used phone? Did you buy refurbished?
It had to be something because it's a sticker.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Somebody that was refurbishing surely wouldn't
You wouldn't think so.
just throw parts in there. If that's what their job is, you would think they would know how to put them back.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got screws. We've got an iPhone 5S mounting plate. We don't have the bracket, so we might actually have to source it from a phone. And we've got a speaker and a SIM tray. Let's try and source this part from the actual phone itself. Oh boy, what fun. Like, really? Honestly, and I'm kind of talking to the internet and you, our policy should be like, hey, ask them, has anybody been in this? Has it been repaired, that you know of? And
We're gonna have to start doing that.
yeah, Like, were you inside it? If so, like, you
The
know,
hottest banana peppers out there these days.
they got you with some bananas. Boy, we got a broken screw now. There it goes, pulling right out. Now we just have to get this thing open. And our battery is still charging. We haven't put a whole lot of power into it, but enough. Uh-oh, we got somebody walking in with a computer and a bottle of Coke.
Good combo.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Good.
This isn't Jeff's business.
You looking for maybe
Jeff Williams.
Jeffy?
Yes, he ran this side.
Yeah, be careful going out there because
Thanks.
it's really ice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
How many businesses are in this place?
Just me and him.
Just you guys?
Yeah, we do computer. Well, we do.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's over there and stuff. Probably get in through here if you want to walk in the back way.
I'll walk around. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Alright, sending people on the straight path. Getting people on the proper path. Our path.
I can't imagine.
I'm telling you, we need that window with graphics is okay, but we need one on this one, and while we're at it, we need to put one on that one for him with an arrow pointing and an arrow pointing this way for us. That's the best idea, I think.
I have
All right. We have some success here. We've got this completely dead crap bucket iPhone that will never be great again, sadly. We're going to go ahead and remove the clip out of it. And it flew. Where'd it fly? I'm looking for parts. Is that it? Not it, not it, not it. Yeah, it probably landed right in front of me. I'm just not seeing it. It sounded like it did anyhow. Where'd it go, people? Well, if all else fails, we'll source one more. I've got one more dead iPhone 5S. Completely dead. We don't do water damage. Don't think about it. There we go. Okay, man, I dropped a metal clip somewhere. No, I don't know. I don't know if I dropped it or if it's on the bench, but I'm going to take a look down here quick.
How big is it? Little tiny thing?
Yeah. Like, I heard it fly, and it sounded like it landed up here, but I've been looking. My old eyes can't spot these things. My old malfunctioning eyes and brain.
That's your two best features, man.
My eyes and my brain. Yeah, they don't work. Yeah, I see solder blobs, but not the little clip that just flew out of the phone. It clearly sounded like it hit up here. And it's very tiny, so when something flies, they actually fly quite a... You'd wonder how something so small and light can fly so far and bounce. Yeah. Alright, well, let's move on. We're going to try and take a look inside this phone at the camera bracket. Oh, yeah. So, if what they did there, wow. Well, let's tear this iPhone apart to see. those are in the right spot. We're going to go ahead and shut. What do we do? Let our charger go. We're at 4.13 volts. We'll let it go for a little bit. Not it, not it, not it, not it. We got our camera module, our old screen, battery charging. Oh, what was that? Okay, well, let's take a brief break and look once again before we stomp on it and bend it all crazy. You know what? I never considered that it flew on the keyboard. What kind of nightmare would that be? Screwdrivers? Yeah, no. Oh. You know what we should get, man? This isn't to the internet, this is to you. We should get one of those little trays that, it's like a silicone working tray. It resists heat, kind of like burning real easy with a soldering iron. It's like silicone, hot glue won't stick to it, and we can work on all this micro stuff and avoid having to look on the floor quite as much.
Quite as much.
Well, I don't have a clue, man, unless it fell here. Where's that brum? We're gonna try brumming and collecting it that way.
Gonna brum it?
Yeah, brum. The thing is, I don't want to step on it, and it's so small that if we step on it and crunch it, it's done. Yeah, I don't want to have to pull one out of another phone if we don't have to. I'd like to use the one that I just pulled out and dropped, but if we have to, I'll grab another one. I do have one more. Yeah, right. Little ridiculous pieces of metal. Even the screws that Apple uses are kind of infuriating. If anybody's ever worked on an iPhone or an iPod, even going back to the old video iPods, and I realize some people probably don't even know what those are. Alright, what do we got here? That's what I thought I threw away yesterday. Yet here it is, haunting me today. Okay, iPhone 5S pieces. Are there any here? Negative. Found that capacitor from a couple weeks ago. Found some good pin making stuff. I'm not seeing it there, man. Well, so what do you say? Is it on the floor or on the bench and I just can't see it? You think it's on the bench, don't you? It's such a tiny piece of metal. I mean, in compared to the screws that Apple uses, it's not that small. But it's still dang small. Not sticking to the shoe. Okay. Sticking to the other shoe? No. Alright, so let's recap. Don't pull a nick, people. Don't drop the part that you're pulling out to fix something. Especially when they're tiny. not it. Not it, not it, not it. Let's take a look. Another place that I found parts that I thought I lost. When they fall, they'll wedge in the actual case, and I don't think we got that lucky here. Be really cool if we did though. Alright, there's the top part of the clip. What do we got that's magnetic? Anything for it to... Ooh, I'm inclined to just stop the stream till we find this part. Because either way, it's going to be a long haul. I got to dig through boxes to get that other phone, or I got to find this clip. Alright, yes, I know it's muted. We're in here scrambling looking for this part.
Nope.
Alright. So magnet. It looks like a magnet. No? Found it right on the Amazon thing. It was hiding under.
It's hiding under an Amazon.
Hiding. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, why you hiding my parts? Alright, so boys and girls, don't follow old Nick's example. You will wear out your hands and knees looking on the floor for a part that's clearly in front of your eyes.
I thought it grew legs, man.
Did you ever see Cool Hand Luke
I don't know.
with Paul Newman? They're in prison. Shaking the bush, boss. I'm shaking it over here. And that's when he escapes or whatever. And the guy, I forget who plays him, but the guy in I forget what kind of hat, but he's got sunglasses on. The man with no eyes. And they make, the one dude's bragging him up, and he's like, he can eat 50 eggs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Good stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get back to this. Okay, so to see... I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. We really need to get a macro lens. Other than macro, I think if we order a couple dollar part, let's scope this out for a minute. So we know this camera lens takes 46 millimeter for the threads. Now if it's 46 millimeter, let's do a search here. This is upcoming of the macro lens, and there's our part we were looking for. So we want 46 millimeter to M43. Now granted, we're not going to have any of our controls as far as there I am there, but I'm not. Yes, remove that source. Okay. That right there. So that's 46 millimeter macro reverse ring for micro four thirds, Panasonic GF10, GF3, GH2, Olympus. I'm pretty sure that's gonna work for my old G85. I don't think it was included. I don't think there's anything that's different about it. It's a couple bucks. I think we're gonna go ahead and order one. That will give us macro on our kit lens here, and we could get in close on these repairs, so I could show you this small stuff. So we got to get basically what it does is it'll thread in where the filters normally thread in. After that threads in, this will have the same attachment point as that, but it'll be on this side of the lens, because when you reverse like a normal zoom lens, it will act as a poor man's cheap macro lens. So I think that's the route we're going to take to get some macro. And I already have a 46 millimeter to I think 52 millimeter adapter, so we'll be able to put some of the other lenses on also. Alright, after that little spiel, we got to order one of them things, Dave, so I can get some close-up shots of this electronics until I don't know if we're going to go down the microscope route and start getting crazy fixing all this stuff. We're going to compare whatever they did here. Just, it's been so long since I've played with an iPhone that I don't know whether it looks right or not. I'm going to go ahead and tear this broken, dead iPhone apart without much caring about the screws, because it's dead. We're going to get it apart and take a look to see how many parts this refurbisher or whoever opened it skipped over. Because it definitely looks like we got the camera in there, and once I get the display out of the way, we will be able to see what's going on a little bit better. You know what? I lied. I do care about the order of these screws. So let's put them where they go. And I do believe the screw I just took out, and I'll show you the location, is the long screw on an iPhone. If you put the wrong screw back in that hole, you're going to scrape the motherboard and your phone will boot loop. What you have to do is actually unsolder the little threaded part where the screw threads into from the motherboard and reconnect the wow, that's gonna be impossible to get. Reconnect the trace that you cut with the bottom of the screw going in the wrong spot, and then solder the thing back on, which is not a repair anybody that I know of is going to do by hand. It's microscopic repair. And maybe somebody get lucky and bridge that where the screw cut the trace, but it's smaller than I can see. I've only seen it done on camera, never done it myself. Not that one, we'll take this one. Boy, this is really stuck here. There we go. Alright, so let's pop out our screen. We've got one more here. Okay, screen is free. This, I'm going to reference this up here. Right there. Now we need to see. No, you know what? Maybe they didn't bend it as bad as or maybe, yeah, they did. This thing's bent beyond all belief. And it's missing a part. How is it missing a part? Alright, well thank goodness for that ugly GST sticker they put in here. That way we won't confuse the phone. Let's go ahead and lift up our little insulator pad. Or sticker, insulator sticker. We can see what's going on here, and we can see what is actually missing from this one. That's the camera. Alright, well oh, so looks like it's just a rubber backing for the camera. Is that what it is? And that's all it's missing. I'm not inclined, yeah. It's just a little rubber grommet. It probably makes, yeah. You know what it does? It holds the camera in place so it doesn't come out of the spot that it's in. So, can we install this one in the phone that don't have it? Let's go ahead and put this part in. Ooh, I don't know if we're going to get it out of here in one piece, people. Okay, dishes are done. We got that part out. That's a little rubber bracket that will hold our iPhone 5 rear camera in place. Let's remove this other insulation pad. I think we're going to have to take parts from this broken iPhone that hopefully aren't water damaged, just the metal bracket to put them in place on the one that is getting repaired. Okay, so looking at it, it's bent, forced downward. Wow. How? What did they do? They genuinely bent this thing.
Hmm?
Yeah, they took inside this phone, they took and forced this part, like, yeah, it's bent way out of shape. and off square and everything else. So we're going to try and see if we can get it relatively straight. Yeah, I think we're going to have to swap it out, people. I think, which is what, 2 screws? Let's change these 2 screws and try and get this plate out of here. Get this camera put back in appropriately. I really hope this wasn't a refurbisher that did this type of work. I'm gonna say no. Have you ever seen a refurbished thing come in that was just a disaster internally? Yeah. No? I mean, I've seen some sketchy stuff come in from a refurbisher, but I've never seen something that they just took loose parts and tossed them back inside the phone and closed it up. Friday and wanted to go home.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
That's possible, right? Oh my.
Some people just say it, and some people just do it.
Look, you know what? If that happens to me and I'm working on something on Friday, I got to get out of here to go to work. But my Friday, which is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, oh yeah, wow, that's just twisted every which way. Alright, let's scavenge one from that phone. Everything else looks okay. It doesn't look like they really destroyed this poor dude's phone too much. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put that there. We still got 2 more screws to pull out. We're going to swap this bracket over, put the rubber thing in to hold the camera in, and it will be good to go. But no, Dave, like I was saying, I've seen some sketchy stuff come in refurbished, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
But not like, oh, here's 3 screws and a bracket. Yeah, screw the bracket. There's no room to throw it up to the top of the phone. But the other ones, let's just hide them up above the camera.
Yeah, they won't need it.
They won't need it, but little did they know that it let the camera become unclipped and do who knows what other damage. So, alright, there's our bracket. We're going to move that over here. So basically I'll try and show you this. I don't know what kind of comparison you will have. That's the good one. That's the bad one. Let's see, can we show? Gee, Nick, something flat would be nice, huh? Okay, so let's put these in the same orientation on a very slippery glass screen protector so everybody can watch them as they go skiing off into oblivion and I never find it ever again. Okay, so there's part of what we're looking at. I know they're not in near the same spot. Let's try and put them in the same perspective for you. So you can see the one on the right over here. This part's all bent downward. It's like really bent down, way out of square. And on top of that, let's keep the good one, who cares about the other one? On top of that, so let's run over this again now, that we can kind of have an idea. This part, if this thing ever focuses, probably not, probably way, way, way too close. Camera. Autofocus is off. Okay, let's hit apply. Hit OK. Hit OK. Okay, Bobby. Alright, let's see if we can try this again. Get up there. So we had this back part. This was kicked way lower and it needed to be contacting other stuff in the phone. So this was running diagonal instead of nice and straight. This part was twisted this way. So just picture this whole flat deck of this piece. It's twisted the opposite way of this one being kicked down. This one was bent upward like that. So a part that you had that and flat, and then flat here, one was down and the other one was up. So I guess they're both bent the same way. But yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible. Not what we tried to do. hopefully this will hold the camera in properly. I don't know any refurbisher that does that type of work, but not this one. You know why? Because I'm not a refurbisher. What am I? I'm a re-speecher. I talk a lot. I should just let the camera roll while I'm actually like working. Not trying to do a show or not. Just let it go. Let's see what I come up with. Difficulties. Let's find the other one. We got to compare the little metal pin. It does kick out quite a ways. Not enough though, so. You out again? Said you out or you cold? I'm cold in here, man. I was ready to put my sweatshirt on. It got cold in here.
71 degrees.
No, it ain't. It's pretty far from 71.
You think?
I know.
No, I'm not cold at all. I'm just actually gonna take and get you that.
You do that, man, before it runs out. Thanks for grabbing that little phone lens. We needed that. Now I can show them pictures. I mean, I still got pictures of the bent thing and the screw that was jammed up above it.
No, I'll break back.
Oh, I'm gonna run away for sure. No. Where do I have to go? Everybody knows where I am. I have a phone.
Gee, it doesn't work. Get back.
It works great, man. Don't give me that crap.
Back to that old honor thing, man.
No, that old honor phone's ready to die.
Well, it's working great. What do you do to them?
What do? I listen to music on them. Podcast every day. And yeah, it's, like I said, it won't read SD cards. I spent money on a 128 gig SD card to put in it to keep all my music on. Won't read them. Won't read new ones, old ones, nothing. If you think it's so great, I'll trade you. Uh-huh. Alright, so he's gone. I just got me to talk to, and you find people out there. Is anybody out there in the chat today after that hilarious show of dropping something and my eyes is too old to even pick the thing up? That's part of the problem. My screwdriver is no longer magnetic. Let's see if anybody is out there today. Anybody? Anybody? No. Oh, 2 people. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. I'm watching some old dummy trying to work. Alright. As soon as I get this bracket in, we will move it back closer to the camera. We're going to continue. This ought to be fun with the camera mount. That's kind of a curious thing there. Kind of curious how that's going to go. So let's put the camera in and pretend for a minute. No, it's on my finger. Okay, so that one would clip under the long arms over there, and the other side loops up over and goes here. You can see what I'm dealing with. This is an extremely small part. We have this little rubber blanket that has to hold. It goes from one side of our camera here, clips in, wraps up around, gets tucked in and back into the wall of the actual iPhone. So let's pull this camera out and work on getting this side tucked in there, the square part. We should be able to set it down and just kind of maybe tweezer the rubber block into the hole where it's supposed to go. Hopefully. This is a hopefully moment, hope and prayer. too pointy. We will rip something if we do it that way. Let's try the pentalobe screwdriver. Is it handy for doing other stuffs? We don't know yet. We'll try. The camera would probably press that in, huh? Over time, maybe? Maybe, kinda, sorta, shoulda, woulda. Yeah, that part ain't coming out of there. Actually, that was really close, and it didn't go. Let's take another examination of this. See, that almost is going to fit. Can we set it? Can we set it there? Maybe if we hold it and get our finger outside. I don't remember messing with one of these. Is this a newer development that came on like later iPhones, like the iPhone 5S's that like Straight Talk got, and other mobile virtual network operators? I do not know, because I don't remember this part. But could it be there? Certainly. Alright, this is an insanely impossible process. Any screws? No. Let's try and give it heck again. It looks like literally just you line it up, press in, and good to go. But trying to move a rubber block around with a screwdriver when it's attached to a sheet of rubber is not not really on the preferred tasks that I would love to get into doing. Can't be right. Can't be right. We gotta look at the way we're holding it. Just like every time I go to flex it, and oh, now that lined right up. Whether it's gonna win or not, different story altogether, people. But we're gonna poke and prod and hope for results. Now, while that's wedged in there nice, I say we set the camera. I say we set the camera down in the hole there, and that's going to finish pressing that the rest of the way. And when we go to stretch it, it should, actually we should have just tried it that way, set it in there in the right spot without having to wedge it. And then pull up on it a little, and that should have moved it into the right spot. Let's try this. I'm going to wedge the camera in. It's almost in place. There it is. It is in place. Let's stretch this up just a hair, hopefully without ripping. Oh yeah, ripped completely off. So there you go. Old rubber that don't work. Don't pull on it, don't rip it. One try that worked. Imagine that. Get over here, you. Alright, that's in place. Let's clip the camera in. I hope this camera's still going to work. Remember, this is the one that was not it wasn't in place. It had screws stuffed under it and other stuff. Just that didn't even belong in the phone. Like stuffed above it and underneath it. And not very helpful to what the camera was doing there. Okay, we got one side, two sides on, yay. Boy, that's a dumb system, I don't like it. But I cannot complain, it's holding my camera in. We have our other part in, now we need to do the display. Let's do that. Yeah, not gonna work. I was debating, bobbing and weaving for a sec here, debating on trying to get that powered up. We'll finish the phone out on its intended path. This is out of this phone, it's the second one because of the placement of the suction cup. Alright, another screw. For anybody that's never worked on an iPhone, there's the size of screws you're dealing with on average. You know, I'd say that's a pretty good safe average. If you can even see, I doubt it's even going to focus on that, but hey, that's what you're dealing with. A little daunting of a task if you've never done it, like, I don't even have my stuff here. I'm talking without having the stuff I need. It's okay, I just make it up anyhow. Where is this box? There it is. Yeah. So you could go and order, you know, I'm going to order an iPhone repair kit or a screwdriver set. This site shut down. They were a good site, a good source for stuff way back. I don't know if they moved over to new and iPhone 4 parts. But yeah, a little daunting when you get one of these open, but can definitely be done. Just patience is your biggest thing. Take your time. Don't stress out about it. Just take your time and do not mix the screws up. Do I advise doing it? No, not by any means. Because it's really easy to mess up your phone, but it can be done. Everybody started somewhere. There wasn't people that were working on these for years and then they came out. The devices came out and people evolved the skill set as. So yeah, it can be done, but it's just do it on your own phone first. So if you mess it up, you have to buy yourself a phone instead of having to buy a phone for a complete stranger or a friend or, yeah, pretty bad. Alright, I think, is that in the right spot? You know what? It just about is. It is. Alright, let's tuck that end down. And once we set that, voila! We are almost back. Alright, back. Perfect. Okay. Now for the nightmare. We gotta take this screen and move over the home to the new screen. For this, we're gonna use an upside down mouse pad to trap any little screws and parts we're working on, and also to grip the phone screen. The mouse pad will slide, phone screen should not. comes on the new one here? While we're looking at it, has the back plate? Yes. Okay, so let's take a quick look at these. Can I get y'all any closer? Probably not without breaking stuff. That's about it. Okay, so here on the new part we have 2 ribbon cables, 1, 2. On this one we have 1, 2, 3. So one of the ribbon cables goes to this assembly, the speaker, front-facing camera, ambient light sensor, proximity sensor, and I don't know if there's a microphone in this assembly or not, but this all has to be moved over. One of the other things, when you buy iPhone parts and you don't get them from a reputable vendor, and I'm not saying Amazon's not a reputable place, but there's stuff to look for, like the little housing for the, I believe it's the ambient light sensor and proximity sensor. You got this little clear plastic thing for this bracket, clear plastic like plate that holds your camera in. When you buy some of these cheaper screens, they don't have these parts. You got to break these loose from some really strong glue and move them over yourself into the phone. You'll have this little rubber piece for the speaker and possibly a mic, I don't know, and a whole mess of other things that are not fun. Usually, iPhone 5S and up, you have to swap over your home button. That's a delicate operation. You don't want to leave your home button on your old broken screen. Now, if you do happen to open the phone up, and like me and a lot of other people have done, when you first open the phone up and you rip this ribbon cable and it doesn't disconnect from the connector because the clip's still clipped in, and it actually tears it back here closer to where it screws down. Home button and the touch security on that phone are done. I think Apple can fix it, but I can't reprogram home buttons. I think Apple can. I think they have the tech to do it. I think some other shops may have it, but that's out of our league. So we're extremely careful when moving those over. Alright, let's go ahead and start moving these parts over. Are you not going to move? You laugh at me? What? Tell me now. Come on, we're going to make you great again. Is it free? Free at last? Oh, I hate this part. Hate it. There we go. It's loose. We've got the speaker. What else needs moved? Oh boy. So, is this a sticker or just a click on? We've got the camera assembly. What a clustered, tangled mess. Oh. Okay, so that is the sticker that needs to come on. Good. I think it's time to get the heat gun out. We'll see how strong the adhesive is. Not super strong. But again, you don't want to go breaking stuff in this area. Okay, so I've got and see, this, I can tell you right now, this was a replacement screen that was broken loose and moved over from another phone. So this screen's already been replaced on this phone once. Who knows how many times. The ambient light sensor stuff is not there. They didn't bother even moving that one over. They probably just figured it would sit there. And then your proximity sensor, everything else Looks like it's ready to go. All we need to do is pop out this mic to put it into place. Get out of there. There you are. And now we're going to take this over and heat it up on our infrared, the Eden Pure heater, to get this warm. So this sticker will move and we can transfer it to there. Then we got to do that magic touch button. That magic button. So there's people out there. Still two out there? That's important. What'd you do? Did you set your phones down and walk away? That's what I would do, honestly. It's cold in here. We're going to turn it up from 68. Let's go up to high. 74 sounds about right. And we're going to pull the heater closer to us to try and, in an effort to keep warm in here. It's actually cold, people. A cold, frigid day out there in central PA. I don't know about y'all. I like to think that I'm in California. I don't care. Northern, Southern California, Florida. Somewhere warmer than goosebump territory. Okay, let's heat up our sticker. I'm going to mute this. That way you don't hear the heater blowing into the mic. Alright, let's find out. Is it loose? Is it not? Ready to be removed. Hopefully, it's a copper sticker. It's a pain. You don't want to rip it. I don't know if there's circuitry in it, but it's a little bit. You don't need a lot of heat. A lot of heat melts it. With a little bit of heat, you can peel it off of there. Go slow, get it warm, and let it do its thing. Alright. This can almost go to the junk pile. And not that we do repairs on this level. Believe me, if we did, I would love it, but yeah. I don't think my old eyes would work. We'd definitely need a microscope. But some people have asked, well, what do you do with those old broken screens? Well, sadly, they get pitched. As long as the internal screen, you know, the LCD is working, you can take the time and replace the outer glass yourself. It's a tedious job. People have got a method down for it. Or you could save them up, because there are companies that offer the service. But if you would take and save up who knows how many screens, ship them over to China, some other country where they offer this service overseas, and have them take and replace all the glasses on your screens when they get sent back. Some of the more popular repair shops and people that do repairs on YouTube have had issues when their screens come back. Apple pays customs to confiscate them because they're counterfeit, because there's an Apple logo on something, and they're calling them counterfeit. They're not counterfeit, they're refurbished. There is a difference. When you just replace the outer glass, that is not counterfeiting a screen. That is refurbishing, repairing a screen. But still, when you got Apple money and you can deal with customs, you have your lawyers deal with customs and pay them to confiscate batteries and repaired screens. Yeah. So that's why, if you've ever heard of the right to repair, It's a good thing, not a bad thing. If you can vote for it or help out in any way, do that, please. But yeah, and that's why we don't send ours away to get repaired. Now, a little shop like us, could we get a couple oddball screens through here and there? Sure, probably. But if we saved up any good amount of them and sent them over to get them repaired on the way back, they'd probably be confiscated, and then that's all of our time and money and everything down the drain. And we're not going to get it back. So let's go ahead and start assembling this part here. I'm going to pop the microphone into place. We won't need this little bracket that came out of old phone or old screen. It's useless to us. Let's make sure. Okay, we are putting them in the new screen, so. And these repairs, I don't do them fast as possible. I should, I don't. When I rush, I make mistakes. These kind of mistakes can cost money. It is not worth it at all to have to order another part, because we don't keep them on hand, and then wait for it to show up. No, not worth it. I take my time. I don't do them all the time, number two, so the speed is not up. Well, I'd really love to know whose sticker that is inside there. Alright, we got the mic in. The microphone has been squished into the little rubber gasket. We have to turn it now just slightly to let our camera and our other stuff line up. Let's do that, and then we'll press it back down again. Alright, we have a sensor. We have a proximity sensor, an ambient light sensor, and a camera that all need to go into place. And then a little thing here that gets clipped in and stuck in place there. I don't think the bottom one's down. We're going to go ahead and give it a little nudge with our... Yeah, the bottom sensor is definitely not in place. Let's pull this assembly back out and take a second look. I think yeah, the bottom's got to go in first. And then we'll put that top in place. There it goes. There we go. We do it right, because we do it at a bare minimum twice. Okay, let's figure out where the sticker goes. It's got to get a fold. It was pretty square on the other one. I think we can line it up and stick it down. It's not going to be square. That's square. That looks horrible. That looks good. Camera in, sensors in, mic in. Let's get our speaker and our bracket back in place. Boy, what a goofy setup. Something is not quite where it needs to be. It's just not taking hold. That is now. Okay. Cooking with gas that time, people. Cooking with gas that time. Alright, in. Now we need to get this one in. Mount this down with a couple screws. And we're ready for that home button. Okay, long screw. Anybody that's ever done this, when you're looking at the speaker, the long screw goes up top, the short screw goes to the bottom screw here. Just make sure. Yeah, nope, not ready. We've got to unclip this. The one clip did not latch in place, so we got to remove it and attempt again. Where is that? Where does it go? Where's the little arm? Okay, I see it. I see it. What a nightmare with these I hate these clips. Alright, that is in place. The little... Yep, good to go now. So, long screw up top, again, short screw in the bottom if you happen to mix them up. You're dealing with a speaker, so it's magnetic, so if it steals your screw off your screwdriver a few times, do not spike it off the ground. Although that could be fun. And if we had lots of spare parts, possibly, we would do that show. We would do that episode. It would make a great episode, spiking phone screens. Alright, come on, speaker. Quit taking the screws. Something don't feel in place. Let's find out. Indeed it is. Alright. Back in place. Let's tighten the screw down and find out. Back's in, side's in. There isn't one for this side. Is that really just pressurized? Okay. I don't think so. I think that should just sit normally. Better. Alright, let's get the home button transferred over and continue on. No, it's that plastering. This is a delicate process here. You don't want to rip this little ribbon cable. Unmount a screw here. Pay attention to what goes where. You have this little tab that sticks down on a peg that's a part of the case. Depending on where you got your screen from, you may or may not have that little plastic peg there for the part of the ribbon cable to... it's an alignment hole. You may or may not have it. So go ahead, take the screw out. We're going to do it down on flat. That way if it falls, it don't have far to fall. The other thing you have when you undo this screw, there is, and I'll show you in my hand, you're dealing with another very small part that as you take the screw out, it spins out of place, and you can see it ahead of time. Is it above or below this screw? I think it's below. Let's go ahead and pull the screw out. Okay, yeah, so it goes under the ribbon cable. Am I lying? No, I'm not lying. I hate these. Hate them. Absolutely hate them. Alright, screw is out. Here is your small piece. And I dropped it. Of course I did. Of course I did. There it is. Okay. I don't know if we can even show you this thing. But there you go. There you have it. It's over there. It's basically... it gets screwed down with a screw. So some type of ground maybe, and then goes to... I forget what it's for, honestly. It goes to... it touches inside the phone. When the home button goes down, it touches in the area of... what would be there? What would be there? It's on that side. So over here in this area, I believe. So a ground of sorts. Let's see who's calling. Worthwhile? Let's see. Okay, that was our iPhone owner. I had to crack the news. They bought this phone new, brand new, online. I showed them, didn't show them, I told them about our refurbished or whatever sticker. I've never seen that sticker in an iPhone. Unless that's something new Apple's doing, it's not a thing. It was used. Screws were not in this top plate. They were stuffed up beside and one above the camera, and this other bracket was bent really, really bad. The clip here, the clip down the home button, we already went over this. It was completely missing. I pulled another one from another phone. We did the whole scavenger thing. I dropped it, lost it for quite a while, and here's where we are. So yeah, she was happy to know it, but not happy to know it, I guess. How you could say that. So you have that little part that comes off with the screw. Now remember, when you go to put that back down, you're going to put that part in place, and then put your ribbon cable, put the part in place, the little metal ground thing. I wish I could call them by their names. I know where they go, I just don't know what they're called officially, technically, you know, quote unquote. You put your part down, your ribbon cable goes on top, screw goes through that to hold them both down, and then that little part, look at pictures online, it will show you where that little piece needs to be to touch down and do the job that it's there for. So this is the daunting task. Then you have two, so you have to unfold the ribbon cable a little, and you have two more screws that come out that hold the home button in place with a metal bracket. This is a way better style home button than older ones, I can tell you that. And can you mix these up? I don't know. Is one screw longer than the other? Will it go out and mess with your display? I don't think so, but I always keep them where I pull them out. I lay them close by and I lay them in the same order, and then lift the bracket, set it the same way it goes, and then we have an unbroken Touch ID ready to go home button. What screen does it go in? Get this steaming hot garbage out of here, right? Okay. Wonderful, magical iPhone 5S. What? I'm an Android fan myself. I use Android phones. So you do have, let's go ahead and show these fine folks. You do have, I cannot believe there's two people here, honestly. Okay. You have tab. I really have to get a close-up cam instead of a webcam and relying on autofocus. We've got an alignment tab there, and then one down here. The peg isn't real big. That will get folded in half, but our little metal clip goes under that with the little hook thing pointing up and pointing that way. And then this will go down, and screw goes over top of it. First we have to screw the home button in. It's tricky. You gotta have these two alignment tabs right, and that will tell you whether your home button's square or not. What you don't want to do is just lay it in there. You can eyeball it, you can, but definitely don't. Keep your screen nice till you actually get it turned on and give it to the customer. Let them peel it off, or you peel it off in front of them. It's kind of hard to adjust the home button with the screen protector on there, so what I've done before was cut them out, or I don't even bother with that. I get these alignment tabs lined up, and then we know we have a roughly close to square home button. I'm going to pick it back up and set it in a little more square, going by the little grommet that's around it. It's supposed to waterproof it, but I doubt very much it does. It's probably a giant leak source, but okay. Alright, lined up, looks good. Let's try and get our bracket on, get our screws back in, and reassemble this iPhone and make it happy, make it great again. People out there watching, you're not going to impeach me, are you? What if they impeach the president? Has anybody thought about that? Has anybody thought about that? I did. Who's up? What happens when the president gets impeached? Does the vice president get the job? Or does his running mate, like, out the door also? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know jack about politics. I just know they do crazy stuff. A lot of people lie. A lot of people are usually out for themselves, but our country would not be what it is without the system that we had in place. If you want to hear about a different and much newer and better system, I recommend listening to the Groundhog Veto episode of the podcast, of my podcast. What episode number? Gee, I don't know. Let me take a look quick. There's a newer, better system there that we brought up. I don't think the world's ready for it yet, but, you never know. I think it should be episode 64, Groundhog Veto. Let's look. And a Social Experience Podcast on Facebook, and a Social Experience Podcast on YouTube. There are also episodes on my YouTube channel, Groundhog Veto. What episode was it? Let's look at previously published episodes. It don't give me a number. So I'm going to say, yeah, it was the most recent episode. So, Groundhog Veto. The Tesla question was good. Some of them are just horrid, but yeah, if you want to hear about a different system of government, go and check that out. What would the link to that be? I think antisocialexperience.libsyn.com would take you direct to the page, or antisocialexperience.com is the website, and you can link out to the page there. So let's load that up. Boy, we need Edge for that, don't we? Let's just load that and see what happens from Chrome. We're gonna load it in Chrome. Chrome. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the liquid crystal, the light emitting diode display. So yeah, here's the homepage, antisocialexperience.com, AC podcast. Hey, there's some audio episodes for you if you want the live streams, and there's probably, you know what, probably some of these episodes make it to there, which indeed they do. So I need to go remove this from the playlist. I don't know how these shows keep getting, or these shows like OpenHours, AfterHours keep getting in the playlist for the podcast. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or no, 5, 6, I lost count. 66 broke jokes, 64, so maybe 63 or 64. I think 64 is, I titled the audio episode after, as is evidence here. There's just not a bunch of numbers. So anyhow, go check that out if you want to hear about a new system of government. If not, hey, I tried. Groundhogs are involved. Does that help? I mean, you can tell that by the title, but hey. Ooh, we've got that screw too. What's going on with that one? Now that is a screw of a different kind. That was something. I know where that went. Let's look, let's see. Yes. And that's exactly what that looks like. That's where that goes there. I think, maybe. Yep, that's our usual suspect there. Okay. That's the right screw. Let's move this one over. We got to get it with tweezers. It will fit, it just won't torque down, so it's not doing its job. Let's try and get this one out of here. Tweezers, there you go. cannot stand these things. But hey, some people like them. Boy, I'm inclined to think that somebody already did this and put a screw in the wrong spot. I've never had a screw come out this rough. Maybe they put it in the wrong spot, maybe they didn't. This previously thought to be new phone, there we got it. That is 100% refurbished, yes. It's and they basically did the stick and lick job like for inspection. This is like the throw and go iPhone 5S refurbishment. Throw and go. Throw the parts in, click it shut, put 2 screws in the bottom, you're good. You're done, sold, out the door. Sorry, not our motto here. We have a little bit more work to do. Okay, back to this sketchy part. And yes, okay. Somewhere along there, I didn't say nothing important. I never do. Somewhere along there, my battery died in my pack, and I gotta keep a closer eye on it. I usually don't when I'm doing something that is stressful for me anyways. Alright, so we have a dead battery. It's completely dead. We're gonna plug it in and charge it for a little while. Being that we got a light there, I'm gonna go ahead and put the pentalobe screws in the bottom. Before I lose them, these things are a nightmare. Everything working on an iPhone is a nightmare because it's so small. Where are you? There you are. Well, I wish somebody would say, hey, your mic died. Because I did look up there. I just didn't look at my my level on the recorder / streamer. Hey dummy, you're talking to thin air. This isn't great. You're not making anything great again. We can't hear you. Alright, go away. Pentalobe screw. There it goes. Be a good boy. If you screw these down too tight, you will break the bottom. And they'll be a nightmare to get out. Screw them in until they sink in the bottom of the phone, then leave it there. You don't need them torque tight. This isn't the bolt tightening tough man competition. Turn them in, let them be. Okay, we're gonna let you charge. We're gonna start reassembling. Alright, I may cut it here. It's been boring. We still got people out there somewhere. You had to have set your phone down and walked away. That's okay though. I'll talk to the open air. To the open air. Alright, junk, get it out of the way. We've got more junk up there. I should put it back together so I know what screws are what in the future. Do I really want to? No, not right now. Alright, let's take a brief break from looking at that stuff. It's always good to walk away for a moment. Oh, iPhone 5, Apple phone 5S. LCD screen and digitizer assembly with frame, black grade, E-replacement, black grade S+. We love these guys where we get these parts. You get a 6-month warranty, and depending on what grade you buy, either R, A, S, or S+, your part is either going to be 1-to-1 tested overseas in Hong Kong, and once it gets here, if you buy the higher grade part, it will be tested 1-for-1, and if you buy the lower the grade, the more you're going to get less quality control testing in Hong Kong, and even less here. If they send over 10,000 or 1,000, they may pull like 10 or 100 of them and test them. So that's how that grading system works there. I don't think I ever talked about that really. I don't believe I did. But yeah, and the only real differences R and A are about the same. One of them has like one's like a double quality control, double in Hong Kong, and the other one is a double and a triple in Hong Kong, and then it's a double and a batch and a triple and a batch tested when it gets stateside. And then the S and S Plus are 1-for-1 usually tested. So it pays to spend a little bit more money. Usually the difference in parts and grades is no more than $40–60 at most. unless you're talking like iPhone X or whatever, then yeah, you're in trouble, because that screen, or iPhone X, that screen is damned expensive. Like, yeah, you don't want to fix that thing. Wow, I'm really feeling ill, like cold and shaky. It can't be that cold out. This ain't even a real number. Call them, see what they're up to. Give them a buzz, see what they're up to. We might be calling it quits there. We need to get this iPhone on and see what the deal is. It has not powered up. It is showing it's charging. That's the good thing. Excuse me. That, and I realize it's very dim to see. I don't have any way to turn it up. Okay. But when we plug this in and then unplug it, we'll see the battery and the lightning cable with the lightning bolt. That means to plug it in, because we get the battery symbol with no lightning cable with lightning bolt. That means it's charging when it's off, right? I'm not an iPhone guy. I believe that's the method, or what the meaning. What do we got? Do we got the iPhone or the Fire? Like, I go slow with these repairs too. It's never, I'm not fast with it, and we go way more in depth on some of them than probably we should. Granted, I get that, but we like fixing the stuff right, except this rig job. And funny we say that for, you know, a job like this, because this one was actually, we had that broken pin and we tried to solder to it. That did not hold, so what we're going to do is flex that pin up, but we're going to get it piping hot before we flex it up. Heat will hopefully let it bend easier than breaking it. That's the goal here. We have solder stuck to plastic that's going to create a nice ground. That we don't want. Let's be careful and flex it up. We have a lot of pads to connect to. Still didn't get down with any of the lunch either. We should do that too while we're at it, but we'll eat when we're dead, right? We'll eat the food when we're cold, when we're dead. Alright, we didn't break the pin and we bent it up. It will contact with the battery connector right there. We're going to go for one more little bend and hopefully it don't break. It did not. Confident that is going to hit. It has some give to it. That's what we want. Let's reassemble this and see if we got enough power in the battery that it can charge on its own. We have a phone that turned on and it's going to ding like a nut. You'll probably hear it coming over the microphone. We will passcode this up in a few minutes. Can't believe the phone was that dead. I guess it was broken and not working, right? Why use it? Why use it? Who wants a busted phone? I do, Dad. Oh boy, this looks like it's going to be a treat. Wow. Wow. Wow, how do you... You guess? You guess? It's a guess, right? Tell me you guess. Okay, so we can move the ribbon cable and get it setting relatively square. So you literally set the motherboard down and press without disassembling the whole thing. We've just got to set it down and press and hope that those two connect. I mean, they have a little bit of slack to come out, but I'm not going to pull them out of there and attempt breaking, ripping, smashing anything. We're going to try and get them to connect up properly. So we have to go under the battery connector, there, under that, over those. And what a show it is. What a show it is. Okay. Oh, the battery connector. Okay, that's what we were missing. Alright. Let's see. Wow. Do not like this. And actually, that's wrong. That's got to sit down in. Okay, not up, down. Very good, very good, very good. Much easier. Okay. We got a dinger. We got a ringer. How many of those ribbon cables connected? Anybody's guess? How about 0? So the set and press method does not appear. Oh, I think that's 1. Now if it connected, cool. If it didn't, well, then let's move this one a little more square. Yeah, no such luck. Alright, we're gonna have to pull the board out, pull them up. And a little bit of slack. Yeah, nope, neither of them worked. So let's get these slack out of here, and we'll hopefully feed that back in later. I just keep thinking, dang, there's got to be a different way to do this, but I don't think there is, honestly. I think you pull these out, you connect the one, connect the other, and then they slide back down in after you get them connected. Well, one will, and hopefully the other, and then you finagle all the other ones apart. Unless we totally disassemble this. I'm not pulling a non-broken screen off the front of this just to connect ribbon cables. We will find a way. So this one I can bend up and then down. If we get them both in the same spot, when we go to put it in, it should wow. Guys, I think you're going to be here watching this all night if you want to stick around for this. This one is going to take me to task, I guarantee. This is going to be an absolute nightmare getting these back on, but we'll give it a go. Do we connect? Alright, one down, one down, one to go. Alright, let's get you first. Your bigger connector, you should hold more. Let's examine. Do we have to disassemble this too? Oh wait. Well, the battery won't, but yeah, no, because the screen's stuck to the part that we need moved to be able to press from the back. So no matter how much disassembling we do here, that's not going to come out of there. Let's just verify. Yeah, that screen is held on with adhesive and not screws. Yes, clearly adhesive. Okay, so that one we can't really disconnect. Neither can that one. I don't buy it. I don't buy that's how you do it. I know you have to tear it down. Which is absolutely crazy considering who would tear this thing completely down. Yeah, you can't even pick that screen up. It has to be pressed in. Who would tear this completely down just to Do a motherboard replacement. You open it from the back. That don't you legit open this from the back. It don't make sense that it's going to, you have to, there we go. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing one. One fell. One ground thing. I don't buy that you have to open this up and unstick that LCD adhesive in order to do a motherboard swap or replace any part that requires the motherboard coming out. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. It's not going down like that. We're gonna finagle it together. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. We're gonna see. I don't want to keep everybody waiting though. You just hear me cursing and swearing. So I think I'm gonna end it here and battle this out alone. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, hold on. We got the iPhone up. Let's boy, we woke it up. Let's try the passcode that we got. I can't show you that though. So what do? You hit the button again and then you type in that number. Okay, so we'll close that. The screen has swipey, screen has locky. I don't know. Okay, we get a password. Oh boy. Okay, and it takes the password. So I'm gonna call it successful. Let this charge up for this nice lady here. I think it's her son's, I'm pretty sure. And we'll give her a call here shortly to come get wonderful, magical iPhone 5S. We made you great again. You're happy, little iPhone? Not the type of job I get into, but we do it. So, with that, have a good evening, people. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching. It means the world. Think about subscribing, liking, sharing, all the above. I'm gonna clean up and get out of here a little early tonight. I only have this nightmare that I'm gonna do here, you know, this thing, and then that thing over there, that desktop. Yay! Let's go back to the autofocus. So yeah, the desktop. Oh, and I have a gamer that we bought. A friend wants to buy that, so we're gonna go ahead. It's been checked over, but we're gonna get a fresh install of Windows on it. It's not a bad computer. He's getting a really good chip, quad core, 4th gen. I don't know the specific number, but he's gonna get that. EVGA graphics, 8 gigs of RAM, 550 watt, 80 plus gold certified power supply. Whoever makes Cooler Master, whoever makes the high airflow or the HAF 912 case, I think it's Cooler Master. It's an older case, older parts, but a solid system. It will play games, will game on my friend's Steam games. He doesn't play the newest and greatest games out. Even if he does, he doesn't have a real high-res monitor, and he doesn't try to go to ultra settings. He just wants the games to function and not error out completely. We got him covered, so I'm going to get the working over here. This way you can't see it again, and yeah, that's my night. Thanks for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. And, yeah, have a good evening. Thanks for hanging out and fixing at least one thing, right? We'll call these people up. They'll be happy. Thank you.